Good night, all fans of YouTube and also the fans of the Saudi Crest Show. A pleasant good night to you all. It is very, very important that I welcome all of you tonight, and also not just all of you, but I want to give a special welcome to all the new viewers, those who will be joining us for the very first time, and also those who will be joining us again repeatedly. You know that what is important to the show is to have you subscribe, like, and share. It's very, very important for you to participate, ladies and gentlemen, in our show as we continue to bring across information as it relates to sports, entertainment, and education. And so, as you know, or for those who don't, the Saudi Crest Show is committed to bring to you sports and entertainment on Mondays and Fridays. However, the Fridays I'm having a challenge this time around with our Fridays, but we will try to fix that. And in short order, we might very well do a show on a Thursday instead of Friday. But by the end of the show, I will make that clear, ladies and gentlemen. And on a Wednesday like tonight, we try our best to bring you educational content. And so that is where we go. That is how the Saudi Chris show deals with it. I'm sorry. I'm really a bit hoarse, the throat giving a little problem now. But as long as you can hear, it's very, very important. And so I engage all of you tonight to participate, give us your take, ask your questions of our guest and myself. Of course, we'll try to provide you with all the very, very important answers to your questions. And not just that, people. Let me just say to you, it has been a wonderful staging of the educational content thus far. And so, if you remember, last Friday we have a very, very interesting and one that people continues to watch, people continues to investigate about the educational content that was brought to you last week. And so, this week we'll have it a little bit different. We want to zoom in on the Jamaica Day celebration, ladies and gentlemen, that we have customary in Jamaica and some parts, even here in the US, even around the world. There are some countries who continue, who have a very good tie to Jamaica to celebrate Jamaica Day. And so it's very, very important that we cover these aspects. And tonight, we have no stranger to the Saudi Crest show, but one that will come to us maybe in a different forum from what he actually joined us before. And however, we have two guests, we'll have two different segments of the show, and hopefully this will be very satisfactory. I'm getting twist tongues already, but you do not understand. Alright? Let me just take a sip of the water, see if I can clear the throat. Alright, so sounds a little better now. Hopefully sound much to you. Alright, so people, we have with us, we should have with us in a little while. And if you look at our thumbnail in that invitation, in a little while I'll get to that. But just to say, what we're looking at is the Jamaica Day celebrations in schools in particular. And we want to really chime in to see how much we know, how much we can get out of this whole aspect of Jamaica Day. Is it really an important day for Jamaicans? Is it important for us to celebrate such a day? And why is it we have this form of celebration this time around in this year? Mark you, it is customary to be kept in February. And so there are many different things, and so it will be celebrated not today, or not tonight, not tomorrow, but of course on Friday, March 3. We want to say we are now in the third month of the year, March, the 1st of March. Again, thank you very much for those who have been with us for the past couple of months, and we continue to strive this on the Saudi Crest show. I will want to say to you though, as we continue, as soon as you get in the show, people, don't just get too relaxed. I understand what it means. Information is very enriching, so you just want to relax and listen or watch. But please do remember to hit the like button. Alright? So we have just a little information I want to share with you before our guests come in. I must say they are running a bit late, but you know that is how it is, and we want to say give them all the love and appreciation. Hope that they are, if they are traveling, so to speak, they will be at their destination very, very quickly and safely. So we look at the importance of Jamaica Day. Is Jamaica Day really important, people? And we said Jamaica Day was established as a day for Jamaicans, home and abroad, to celebrate our Jamaicanness and strength, our cultural connection by giving citizens a deep appreciation for national heritage. National heritage, people. And I want to look back the days of when we really appreciate our own culture, how we really take this on, how we appreciate, oh, not just appreciation, but how we embrace our culture, our Jamaicanness, you know, the things that we do. When you look at the food that we dealt with over the years, that we continue to use, the music, and remember, Jamaican music is one of a kind, you know. Yes, many of us will say the reggae is the Jamaican music, but truth be told, the reggae was not the original Jamaican music. Reggae is a spin-off of so many other music, eh? Coming on, you remember the mentor? And so hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, you know, our guests will touch on a little of that. But more so, I must say to you that the guests will look at the whole celebration content, the concert, the music, the food, what will be staged at the Dinthill Technical High School on Friday. So as I said before, our guest running a bit late, and he, of course, is Mr. Anthony Garwood, the principal of the Dinthill Technical High School, out there in St. Catherine, Jamaica, Linstead to be exact. All right, thank you very much for sharing the likes as you come in, people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those of you who are coming in for the very first time, I ask that you subscribe and share. Not just like, we should continue to share the Saudi Crest channel. So, as we are saying, we know that we must be part of the entire celebration. All right. So thank you very much, Mr. Lee. Good night, Saudi and friends. That's coming from Mr. Lee. Good night. Good night. Christopher Green, my own colleague. Good night to the big show. So it couldn't be better without you. So as you know, I must say congrats, Mr. Green, and you know that is how it is. You know, thank you very much for the thumbs up as well. But Mr. Green, as a principal, have you have any celebration thus far for Jamaica Day, or you will be joining the Dinthill Technical High School? Let us know. Share with us what is happening in your own institution down there at Orangefield Primary in Linstead, St. Catherine. People, there will be a lot of fun and joy when many schools will forget about their own institution that day, their own physical school, and turn up to Dinthill. Alright, so we know that we'll have a very, very good show. I must say that Mr. Garwood is in studio, and in a little while we'll share with you, and I'm sure that he will be there. Mr. Garwood, can you hear me? That's so nice. We're hearing you loud and clear, sir. And happy that you're joining right now. I did apologize for the to the fans, you know, that you'll be late. Again, people, as we are saying, there are a number of you in the chat. I have not seen the likes to match up with that. So please hit the like button. Let me get at least 3 more likes before I introduce Mr. Garwood himself. I know that this man, I must tell you people, he's coming out of a very important meeting. and I suppose that he's also driving. Are you driving, sir? And maybe he will not be able to share his video right now, but he's on the road. So, Mr. Green, as I mentioned, yes, we will be joining with Dinthill. I suspect that all the schools in and around that cluster or section of St. Catherine there, more so maybe the entire parish will be joining at Dinthill. So, again, thank you for joining. So, here we have, um, let me see now. So, Mr. Garwood is here with us. Mr. Garwood, good night, sir. How are you?
Giving thanks.
I do understand, man, and I do appreciate you joining us. I can imagine I was just saying to the fans that you are coming out of a very important meeting, and I do understand that's the nature of it. And so we tab in this tonight, sir. We look at it. The Dingtill Technical really will be hosting a Jamaica Day celebration on Friday. But before you go, sir, just to remind the viewers and for those who are not au fait with Anthony Garwood, just say a little about yourself, Mr. Garwood.
Well, good night, everyone. What to say about Anthony Garwood? Um, and I have a passion for education. I'm a sports fan. For me, all my time of being an educator and a FIFA referee, a FIFA assistant referee, I always, whenever I travel to visit schools and try get those best practices and try and practice it in the school, in my school back home in Jamaica. So, in a nutshell, I am passionate about education. I lead a very illustrious school, a school that has a long history, both in academic sports. And one of our main objective now at Dinthill is to be self-sufficient in everything we do. We want to reach a stage where we can, a child that attend Dinthill just come to school and they don't have to worry about lunch or breakfast or supper. We want to have our school self-sustained, that even the government might not even have give us any money to for us to run a school. That's the aim. So we are doing some work at Dinthill. I have a very good staff, very active staff, very supportive staff, and they are my backbone. They are my engine room, and they give me the support in some of the projects that we are doing at Dinthill. But as for me, I am a visionary as well. I look on things years to come, what I want it to be. And in a nutshell, education, sports, and a well-rounded person. I'm an outdoor person.
Okay. That's a lot. That's a lot from Sir God. And so people you understand. I'm sure that many of us would have, back in the days, accustomed to this little man on the field waving his flag up and down. Yes. All right. Good night, Tamika. Good night, batchmates. Thank you very much for joining, Tamika. So, Mr. Gowd, Jamaica Day at Dingtill. What is it? Why is it so significant for Dingtill to host Jamaica Day in such a fashion where you are able to invite all the schools in and around your area?
Well, last year when we did our Jamaica Day, we highlight a few items, and then for this year, the ministry said that our school will be the highlighted school for Jamaica Day this year. So this year is where all the media personnel and camera will be for celebrating Jamaica Day, using the theme from the root to the fruit. So as a school that we have a strong history or a strong agricultural background, the root to the fruit would be appropriate for us at this time. So not just Dinthill, we have merged. There are three schools this year have merged to have the celebrations at Dinthill. St. Catherine High, they are also a part of the day celebration, and they will be hosted. They'll be looking at culture. in terms of music and so on. 'Cause they have a rich history in music. And then we have Troja Primary. They are looking at um, byproducts of coconut. So they are looking at byproducts from the root to the fruit in terms of byproducts of coconut. So it's not just Dinthill, it's Dinthill, St. Catherine, and Troja, but the venue is Dinthill, and the highlights will be at Dinthill. We have also sent out invitation to all the schools in and around um, the St. Catherine area for them to come, to invite them to come and look at what we have on display on this day. So we are exposing especially the primary schools in and around the area to come to Dinthill, and we are one of the school of choice. So they will come and see what they are getting into. So in
Man,
a nutshell, we will be hosting the Jamaica Day for this year, and we are happy. It ties into our 85th anniversary as well, as in April we'll be celebrating 85 years of existence.
wow, wow. So you have to come back for the show to talk about that 85th year.
Yes,
Yes, yes, man. Most definitely, and you can also invite other members of your staff, or persons who maybe, if you still can find a long-standing past student of that institution, to come and share with us.
okay.
So, Sir Garwood, so the nature of that is, as you mentioned, the theme, from the root to the fruit. What sort of entertainment? We know that, as you mentioned, St. Catherine will be coming with culture. But what sort of entertainment we can look forward to at Dingtill on Friday?
Well, we will start at 8:30 with the usual civic ceremony, where St. Catherine High will do that part of the presentation in terms of having a small devotion, um, praise and worship, using their students to do that. We'll have readings by the Minister of Education or Regional Director, other education officers. We have other persons on board, TPDCO, um, CPTC, and other entities will be um, doing their message, to include our chairman, myself, our PTA president, and our past student. We have a strong past student association, so they will have an opportunity to say their greetings to the world in a sense. But the highlight in that the morning session is where students will participate, and we'll have a number of display booths on display, showcasing for us at Dinthill. We have a small animal farm, petting zoo, and we have a number of items that we will display in terms of our home economics. We have a strong, rich home economics department. They are very, they are in terms of their delivery. So they are excellent in their delivery. So they will be doing some displays using the same theme, root to the fruit. So they will be having some displays. So that will be the morning session, and then in the afternoon session we'll have entertainment. Um, we have a number of artists coming in to showcase their talent. But we will also have there was a thing in the Linstead, Reggae in the Park,
Okay, yes.
for the month of February. They should be here as well to do some entertainment in the afternoon. And then finally we'll have, I think the closing act will be Lali. I think that's his entertainment name. He will be, because when we plan these events, it's not just for ourselves as adults. The students, this is their request. So
Okay.
we asked them for a number of artists that they would like to see. Um, and that was the one that came out. So we listened to them, and then that's the person we got for them. So the show should finish at about 4 o'clock. So at that time we will, close off.
Oh,
But we
so yeah,
should have a full day of entertainment.
and that's really good. From the root to the fruit, ladies and gentlemen. Tamika Hall is saying, best principal, Mr. Garwood. You have to love him. Definitely a people person. Best ever. Tamika, we'll have to talk after the year, you know.
Thank you,
Best
Tamika.
best school with the best teachers. The passes speaks for themselves, of course, and I do believe Dinthill, as you know, it's a traditional technical high school, if I have said it right. You know, we have a very rich history in agriculture, sports, of course, the academics. And so maybe later on, Mr. Garwood will share some of the things that we have not yet known from Dingtil. So, Mr. Gard, you mentioned the Ministry of Education will be there to make a public address, and that is already scheduled. She will be there, right?
Yes, our minister should be here. Should be here with us. Our honorable minister should be here, and along with our regional director.
Okay.
Our member of parliament as well was invited, the mayor and the costas.
Oh, very good. Very. It should be very, very important. One thing I've heard you said that is not so true. You mentioned that all the media houses will be there. Unfortunately, um, the Saudi Crest show will not be here, and we weren't be
No,
invited. Unfortunately, again.
okay.
I wonder why.
Unfortunately,
Or you just want mainstream media to be there? Which one?
it would have no. Well, it is the invitations are basically from the ministry's end.
Okay.
In terms of we planning with them, but they did most of the background work in terms of media coverage and stuff like that.
All right. So I'll ask a few to let them to introduce them to the Saudi Crest show, so they will be hopefully future reference. Of course, we will be a part of it. We are very cheap, you know. We are inexpensive. Don't cost a lot to get the Saudi Crest covering your show. So let them know. So, Sir Garwood, I mentioned the importance of, you know, the Jamaica Day celebration in schools, in particular in schools in Jamaica. How receptive are your students to this function? Our past function, let's say the Jamaica Day function. I know this one has been a bit bigger one, so to speak. What's the reception like?
Well, by being here at Dinthill for the last 2 years, the students they support the events that we put on. So last year, when we had the Jamaica Day, it was well supported. I mean, students turned out because one of the things they highlight is that they want to come out a uniform. So we allow them to wear their jeans and Jamaica color top. So when we have events, most of the time, 95% compliance we have as it relates to supporting the event. So some of the times, the only thing we might have is students not conforming to the dress code, but for the most part, they conform. So we have good support from the students. What that means, the students are integral in it because we have the uniform groups that will be on parade, we have the different sporting teams that will be on parade. We have they are entertaining, they are part of the entertainment package. So we involve them to be a part of it. So they see themselves and their friends actually getting involved in the process. So they support each other that way.
Okay. Is there an entry fee to attend the function?
No, no, no. It's free right across.
And
Um, also thanks to the ministry though, the Ministry of Education, they gave us funding for this. We sent in a budget, and for the most part, we got what we asked for. It was cut. Well,
and
as usual, that is expected. But I must say, thanks to the ministry, they actually gave us funding towards this activity.
okay. Now, as we mentioned, I said the importance of Jamaica Day celebration in schools. You know, we said that, or it is being said, really. You know, it's a matter of to bring to the Jamaican people the importance, you know, the Jamaicanness, you know, the culture of Jamaica, and so on. In terms of their own students? Let's say the other primary schools who are not a part of the main performance per se. Do you take performances from other schools within that concert?
Yes, we actually sent out invitations for some primary schools to perform. Some declined the offer, some took it on. But be having primary school involved in it. They will do one or two items. I know for instance, Troja Primary is one of the schools that will be doing the performance. So they will see themselves. They will entertain or we. So we find that a number of primary schools, and that is one of the focus we have here at Dinthill. We try to orientate the primary schools in and around the area to come to Dinthill and see what it is like at a secondary school, even before attending. So that's an initiative we took on from when I came in 2020.
So you see, like you're doing some advertisement as well outside of the Jamaica Day celebration. But it has been a good one. I remember last year you had a very big concert with entertainers, and you just mentioned just one in particular outside of the school. Is that the focus you're looking at, or it's there's an issue or some concerns of having more entertainment this year? Or entertainers rather?
No, I strongly believe that students must get a balance. That staff support that, and we find that when we listen to our student council body or prefect body and our students, and we say, what is it you want? We listen to them. We School must be like that for me. That's personally for me. I say once you behave yourself, you attend class, you do your work, then we will reward you. And they look forward to these items. So that's one of the reasons we might not have as many fights. We might have the odd fight, but we listen to them. And when some students don't conform, their own peers sanction them. So that's a culture we're trying to build where um, we try as best as possible to have rounded students. It's academics priority, but the social part of it. And coming out of COVID, we realized we had a lot of ill social behavior that are not social. We have to bring them back to be socializing with each other in a civil manner. And I think that's the stance we took in terms of this post-COVID era. So a lot of the things we do, we try to get them back sociable in terms of how to socialize with others, how to talk to each other without texting. A lot of them they are beside each other and texting. We try to come back to that mode. But the entertainment is just these are requests. I will listen to our students, and we try as best as possible to have an event, whether it be a gospel concert, whether it be a heritage concert, whatever it is. We try as best as possible to balance it to the academics.
And that is so good, sir, because I mean, in recent time there are so many activities, unwanted activities in our schools, and so as long as we can get the students involved, you know, things that they can learn from, because this is not just entertainment, this is a learning thing. As it is said, all our own, the young and the old, need to be exposed or re-exposed to this sort of culture, our own Jamaican culture. Mr. Garwood, are there out in what should I say, outside of students, are adults or parents, so to speak, are invited as well?
Yeah, so we send an invitation to our parents to say they are invited to on the day. We didn't put it out to community members per se, just selected community members, but mainly our parents because one again we have to look at the crowd situation in terms of already have 1,400 students.
Okay.
So we have visitors coming in. So we just open it to our parents who have the time to come.
Okay. Sir, I must say to you, it is a very, very interesting one. I'm sorry that I am unable to be in attendance. However, if there's any links going through social media with covering your events. So please share with us. We would like to share, as much as possible, even though we are not in person. But it's very important these days to have definitely. Tamika, we definitely have rounded students and we have a supportive staff. We are preparing our students. I know, Tamika, you're preparing them all the way. And so I believe in that, sir. And as I mentioned before, Mr. Garwood, the students from the primary school coming to high school. Sometimes we do our own thing in the primary schools, but we might not have it so excited or big, you know, like what you propose or what is proposed for the Dinthill. Honestly, though, sir, sorry that I was not in touch, but I didn't know that this big initiative was coming through the Ministry of Education. I thought it was through the Dinthill, you know, you come up with that aspect of it. So it's really good. It's really, really good. Before you go, sir, even though it's very early, I want to play a little song. Hopefully, that it will be heard. And so, persons in the chat, let me know if you are hearing it. And so, if not, we'll have to bypass. But it is Jamaica Day. It is what it is in our own space. And as we continue to highlight our own Jamaican music as well. So, um, let me try our music if it is. Those people in the chat, let me know if you are hearing. All right. Again, just type in the chat. Let me know if you are hearing. All right. You hearing it, Sir Garwood?
Yes, I am hearing it.
Oh, good. Original tune, eh?
Yep.
Man called Stanley.
I take a walk out the street late last night. I tell a girl how they do. I was standing outside my gate one day.
I hope
I
these
hear
songs will be
someone
well,
say,
will be played, man.
but when I take a look at this same brown girl, who me tell this sweet how they do. If I so, girl I saw what to be must be. Now when I call around I mean big backyard, man the girl I watch that. So when I call around, I miss sitting up. There the girl, she was shocked. But when I call around, I'm in big bedroom. Man, you should have did that if I saw. Brown girl, nice, like a pound of rice. Brown girl, I want you squeeze me nice. Sheila, I want you do it right.
People, this is where our music coming from. This is the real culture.
So I change my mind from brown girl Monday morning. I take one with her fingernail. She couldn't peel banana, she couldn't spread my bed. She couldn't even cook pepper pot. All she do is stay home all day and ramp with Mr. Saffron. If I saw, girl I saw what to be must be. Every day I try to do my best, but the girl couldn't satisfy. Every night she tried to build a fight. Dear, my old man was shocked. Every hour she tried to make things so bye bye girl I'm gone. If I saw, girl I saw. Brown girl come back home.
Big tune.
Brown girl, I want to squeeze me nice. Sheila, I want to do it right. Brown girl, I want to squeeze me nice. Sheila.
Yes, 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 my people. Thank you very much, Sir God. Are you still here? Okay, good man. Because and these are the songs that we really want to. Well, let me not say it may be selfish of me, but I must say to you, sir, these songs, when you listen to the cultural things, man like Stanley, yes, and a number of those hitting mentor songs. I must say, sir, one of the reasons, I remember having my own Jamaica Day at school last year what we look at is to bring about these songs. We never played one modern reggae or one modern song, so to speak. And I was surprised to see our young students dance to these songs. So even though they might not know them word for word or the reason behind them, that dance, that mental type of thing that comes with it is very, very important. Would you have any dance show in your concert tomorrow, sir? Or Friday for that matter?
Not so sure of the full program. As I said,
Okay.
my culture agent would have been the person to answer that. But I know
Okay.
for St. Catherine High, they will be doing all the different genres of the music coming up. But their segment is about music, so they'll be doing different genres. So I I I s- I was well I propose they will be doing the ska,
Mhm.
then the reggae, dancehall.
Wow. Seems like we're having some challenge. So, Garwood, you still there?
Yeah, man, I'm still here.
Oh, you got
Yes,
cut
I'm here.
out. You got cut out a while ago. Never heard the last thing you said.
Yeah, I'm saying the St. Catherine High will be doing the different genres. So they'll be looking at the ska, the mentor, the reggae, the dancehall coming up.
Okay. Okay. Yes, man. And people, let me just say to you, it's very good to have you here tonight. Big up yourself, Fruitilicious Vibes. Thank you very much for joining in, hearing loud and clear. It's just a pity we couldn't see some of our viewers tonight. No, they would have been, they must be rocking their feet off, listening to the man they call Stanley. So, Sir Garwood, Dinthill, what about your music department in terms of um, performance, so to speak, for this show?
Well, we have a very vibrant music group. A very hardworking music teacher, and we have another teacher who's the choir director. She doesn't teach music; she actually teach business. But she has
Okay.
the skill set, yeah, because she's our choir director. When you if you watch All Together thing, you would see her. And a lot of people ask me about my music teacher, and I say, well, she don't really teach music, it's a business subject. But she have the skill set for that. So we have a very active. The choir has been constantly being requested to perform at different events, and so they will be taking on some of the activities. They will do a number of items, and who they are using this as practice for JCDC finals in April. So this is part of their preparation leading up to that. So they'll be doing a number of pieces to get themselves ready for JCDC.
Okay. Yes, sir. I know you're not so much the man behind the planning as it relates to Dingtil, but Dingtil has a very rich history as it relates to agriculture. What are some of the fruits or the food that we can expect from coming from the cultivation of this wonderful agricultural institution?
Well, unfortunately, now we're in the mode of plowing and planting.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you when you come on Friday, realize you'll see a number of areas being plowed in preparation for planting. We have mainly been looking at livestock. We resuscitate our dairy production, so we now have dairy calves preparing for milking the next 9 months or so. And then we have a piggery unit that we produce um, probably talk about 70 piglets on any given day, because sometimes I have like
Wow.
6, 7 sows having piglets at one time. We try to breed them together, so we have one set going out. So we have a big piggery unit. We have sheep, we have goat, both the native and the Nubian. So we have rabbits now. We start our rabbit program. It's part of the curriculum, the syllabus, CAPE syllabus.
Yes.
So we um, put in some rabbit hutches, and the students actually take care of these. They actually grow them. They do their research on them. They weigh them, based on when they're born and so on. So they do their SBA, basically doing the practical approach, using the practical approach. We are now into apiary. We just start our bee farming. So we have a next set of students looking at that. That's also a small part of the syllabus, but we're more using it now as a commercial entity, the business side to agriculture. So those kids actually do the bees and we're looking to sell honey. They benefit from this. We have our chicken, we are one of the few schools that grow chicken for CB, Caribbean broilers, where
Wow.
we have like 10,000 birds each flock. And the CB we grow them for CB and CB would come for them after this reaches 6 weeks. And we have students who work on that. Part of our thing now is pasture development. So we're looking at some pastures that we have to clear, and we are looking now at an irrigation project where we want to, the river runs right behind the school.
Good.
So we are looking at pulling water from the river. That project has started, so we are trying to finish it so we can use that for agriculture purposes. So those are some. So no, we would not see any crops per se because we are currently in the mode of plowing and getting the areas ready.
Sir, I just talk about irrigation. People, this is a educational content night, but you know how it goes. It's all about learning. It's all about information. Will that irrigation system be extended to the football field?
Yes,
Oh,
we actually clear. We have done some work as well. We clear the field. We actually fully fenced it now, so that project is completed now. So we actually have two football fields, and the irrigation will be on them. So we are looking to have probably the best turf in St. Catherine, um, and other parishes. So we are looking to have a match field and a practice field,
wow.
separating them.
That's the nature
We
of
are moving
Dinthill.
also to cricket. So we have our cricket pitch as well that we are looking to develop as well.
Okay. That's a part of Dinthill. You can't escape sports, ladies and gentlemen. Garth Davis. Big up yourself, Garth Davis. Big up. So, Garth Davis, big sir. Garwood, the FIFA man. We look P, alright? He continues to mention Garth Davis again. We look to see the school lifting the D Cup soon. Eh, Boy, I can't say much about what you say about that, Mr. Garwood.
Well, Garth is right. Just a few more of the puzzles to put in and to make the picture a full picture now. So we're looking at those few puzzles.
Okay, okay. I hope to see that as well. Dingtil has been knocking on the Dakasta Cup door for a very long time. Maybe people, in terms of schools not winning, probably Dingtil, I would say, has been one of the most consistent school in the Dakasta Cup. They have made it a number of times, repeatedly, to the semi-finals, and I think they have made to the final once in the past 3 years, sir. So
Yeah.
I know that they are knocking, and who knows what will happen with a man like Mr. Garwood. He don't tell the same coach to but I know he's potent, a FIFA man, as God says. So we are looking forward to that. Now, sir, you mentioned that the Ministry of Education actually put in funding to the Jamaica Day celebration here. I'm not sure if I should really hit you this one onset without prior discussion. But in terms of allowances funding to Dingtil. I said to all the schools, but I'm zeroing on Dingtil now. The fact that you have such a big institution with so many different projects and situation. How is the funding from the Ministry of Education to you?
Well, funding is for the Jamaica Day or funding to the school in general.
To the school in general. I heard about the funding for Jamaica Day.
Oh, well, funding has been coming in not what we expect because for the tranches we have been short in terms of the tranches we expect We know that the tranches, they come four tranches, different percentage at different times.
Yes.
Uh, but for the our last three, it has been pretty much short, in a sense, to what we would normally get. As a principal, we have to work with the ministry. We know that at the end of the term, in terms of the last tranche in April, that's normally where you get back the additional the funds that you didn't get. So I'm not anticipating that the shortfall that we have over the last three, we will get it in April. So in terms of sustaining ourselves, we are sustaining ourselves. We have a strong past student association that gives us support. So some of the sporting activities that those are some of the big spending money. Our past student association, our past students really come on board and give us assistance as it relates to the sporting activities. So we must use this opportunity to say thanks to our past students. They are passionate. They are passionate, meaning passionately loud about their school, and they want their school to be the best. So I use that to say if I want the best, I have to give the best. And they have been supporting me since I come here at Dinthill. Past students all over the world call to say they will support this and they will support that. So I must say thanks to the past students. As a school, we are working around the anomalies as relates to funding. Not adequate, as we would want, but one of the things today at our meeting, our principal meeting at JAPS, I asked the president, Celine right, about, I know that we talk about how much money it is to educate a child for a year. And it worked out to be about a couple of years ago, it was $87,000. The ministry gave us 19, so or 17. So we looking at other areas how we fix the
Oh
rest of it,
boy.
how we
Yeah.
get the shortfall. So those are some of the agriculture projects too, Mr. Wittig, that we use. The agriculture project, we say they are commercial, so we make profit from it and we put it back into operation.
Sir, I really love the aspect of how you commercialize your agricultural department. It's very important, and it gives you a very good way or a very good sense of self-sustainability because with as I said with those projects, and that's why I asked you the question about additional funding or the real funding, so to speak, from the Ministry of Education. So, people, I'm sure that you have been hearing quite a lot of it, getting a lot of information that you would never know. You wouldn't believe that these things have been happening at Dingtil, so to speak. And people, I can tell you, we are not far away from seeing this institution been at the top of many things to come. Let me not say much more on that. But Alfred Thomas, big up yourself a boss. Sir Principal Alfred coming out of Brownstone High. Big up Sir Garwood and the strides made at Dingtill under your leadership. Alfred, two farmer Rogers House captain on the program. I never, I don't even give that any thought before, Sir G. But I must say, big up Mr. Garwood again. He was my house captain, when I went to the Mico. And so he has handed this mantle down. And of course, I have run with my leg of the race successfully. Alfred, sorry, don't let me start on funding. Listen me, Freddie. Say what you want, say, man. And Freddie, if you want, you can call. You can call Freddie. You can say what you. Aye, the number, Freddie, it's on screen. So you can call in, people. You can call in at 876-501-6625. Again, 876-501-6625. And remember, people, I am on set one on one with Mr. Anthony Garwood, principal of the. I forgot to say the Mount Russell. So the principal of the Dingtill Technical High School and a former FIFA assistant referee. He's here with us and giving us some highlights of what to come on Friday, Jamaica Day celebration at his own institution. So, again, people, thank you very much for those who subscribed so far and continue to like the content because this information you will never get anywhere else, especially in the media. I can tell you this. Who knows? You might very well see the Sadi Chris show on Friday. So, we'll talk off the air, Sir G.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, so as we said, Freddie, you don't have to worry about your your funding argument. You hear him, sir? I tell you, man, ready if you put me on, and I don't want him to come in the show with that sort of thing, you know. You hear me, Sir Freddie? Alfred, not gonna start tonight. I will remain remain on vacation. I tell you, I'm happy that you take time out of your vacation to join us, though. Right? Thank you very much. Mr. Garwood, you know, one thing that came to mind as it relates to Dinthill Technical and the host of the Jamaica Day celebration in this part, in our parish of St. Catherine. I think, sir, you probably have one of the, not just the largest institution in and around that area, but in, in terms of numbers, we're looking at land space and the infrastructure. That auditorium that you have there, so what's the what did I say? What's the seating capacity for their auditorium?
Well, we can seat 400. If it's just seats alone, then it can go to about 500. Because in
Okay.
our exam for our exam period, we have like almost 300 desk and chairs. So if it's just seating alone, we might go 400, 450 max. We had a play, a PTA fundraising play on Sunday, and I think the seating facility was 300 and about 20 or 330, and there was space left. So it was actually full, well sold out. So PTA did their fundraising event on Sunday. It was a Del Cita play. So that's the capacity. But I think we have outgrown this auditorium. So we have started the discussion with the board and other stakeholders to build another auditorium that can accommodate probably 2,000, 2,500. But that's the number we're looking at now.
So you say you build another auditorium, not expanding the existing one.
No, based on how this one construct in terms of expansion, it will be difficult. But as I say, as a principal, I think business. So I'm thinking of if we building an auditorium, then we build it in such a way that we can rent it and generate income for the school. This one, it is doing that. But if we are going to look for the future, we think we should build one somewhere on campus that it doesn't affect operations when we rent it out during the days.
Okay. All right. So so you said that the play sold out the other day, so that they'll see that play.
Yes, we were looking at about 250, 300 tickets, but went a little. I think we went almost 300,
Wow.
320, 330 thereabout.
Man, that was a show and a half, I believe. Big up yourself, Del Cita. Yes, carrying the place right and around. Sheldon Huntley. Big up yourself, my counselor, the man from Enid Bennett. Heard the play was good. Wow. Boss, I've seen it already. And I can tell you, don't let anybody tell you anything, man. You go see it for yourself. You need to see that play for yourself, sir. It's a family play. It's good. I can tell you that. But as I say, see it for yourself. Track it down. All right? Or call Del Cita at what's Del Cita's number again? Some 000 NATO circle. Yes. If you remember back in the days, you know, she have a bad number, you know, so you heard it before.
No, I've never heard it before.
Lord have mercy, I can't repeat that number. Anyway, wife went with the children. Okay, you're too busy, Sheldon. You need to find yourself there. All right. So, again, Mr. Garwood, we have not finished with it yet, but thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for the information shared and so on. Sir, I want to get into a little of your business, so to speak, at Dinthill. Over the past couple of years, the whole talk about grade 12 and 13. How is your grade 12 and 13 program going so far? What's your numbers like?
But for 12 and 13, almost at the numbers increase. Our numbers increase. And if I don't learn anything, I learn something from Alfred during that period of transition. And Alfred, I always tell even my staff, I tell my staff when we have meetings. Alfred told us in our meeting that we have to run our school as best as we see fit. So if I don't learn anything else from Alfred, I learn that from Alfred.
Sir
That
Freddie,
has been something
repeat
with me.
yourself.
So what we did, we look on the capacity that we can accommodate at grade 12 and 13. Based on the classrooms we have five classrooms that are designated as a section of the school for grades for 12 and 13. So we just look at the number of students that it can accommodate. And it's 150 because five classrooms are 30 students, it's 150. So we look at 150 maximum at grade 12.
Okay.
In terms of the programs, what we did though, we did a pathway two. We did our pathway one, which is a traditional sixth form, 5 CXC, to include math and English. And then we look at a pathway two relates to some NCT vet. So we have introduced a few NCT vet. As a technical school, we did we expand that area. So auto mechanics, electrical, food prep, cosmetology and barbering, and customer service engagement. So those are the NCT vet subjects we put in at the grade 12 level. So we expanded because one of the things we look at as a technical school is what are the required skill set needed for the country. So we are in dialogue with a few persons. Welding is an area that we're looking at. Ship repair and electrical car repair. So those are
Oh,
some other areas that we want to look at in terms of exposing our kids to have that level of exposure to.
Sagard, you said electrical car repair.
Yeah.
Your school, you're saying to Jamaica and the world that your school is committed to provide that aspect of learning to our young students. That's one. And you really have the competency to carry out those instructions for electrical car repairing.
Well, it started in Jamaica already. It's not new. We're actually looking at heart as it relates to there's an area heart trust NTA. They have some training programs with that. So we are looking at partnering with them. I mean, the closest one to us is in St. Mary. So
Yes.
we are looking at how we partner with them and how we get our students involved to be a part of that. But that would have been for the new year. One of the things we look at is that while we expand the curriculum, I don't want to burn my teachers out. So I have the skill set to make sure that the teacher don't burn out or doing too many things.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I asked the question, because it's very, very interesting that we zoom into that aspect of the technology. When you look around, there are some number of electrical cars here in Jamaica,
Yeah.
and I doubt much how many charging ports we have, though. So these are questions that we'll ask, and we continue to do that. But sir, you see, all of those programs you are implementing or you
Yeah.
have implemented take so much additional cash, additional funding. And so it is so important that you continue to grow your self, sufficient program, because sir, I am not too sure how much better at this present time the funding will are much more improved. The funding will be for our schools. There are some schools that are larger in terms of programs and also capacity and the students. So you can imagine the extent to which, not even sure how much money is budgeted for education this year. But trust me, sir, you have been doing very well, and I'm very enlightening. I'm very delighted to know that these programs that you mentioned and what you want to do is very close to me. Not just close in terms of, being an educator myself, but proximity to where I live. And the fact that we are looking forward, who knows, maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, I'll be feeling much more confident to get myself an electrical car. So, we can drive in. And make sure, sir, I'm going to hold you at this word, when that program starts and kick off, make sure you own one yourself.
Definitely.
You can't be doing some things in your school and you're not piloting. So, God, yes, so the Dinthill, as I mentioned, on Friday, the 1st of March, Dinthill will host the
The
Jamaica Day
third,
celebration. Is the
third of
3rd?
March.
Oh, yeah, today is the 1st. Thank you very much for your correction, sir. So, Dinthill will host the first, um, what did I say now? Staging of Jamaica Day. This sort of, I've never heard it, sir. I don't know if it has happened in St. Catherine, where one school just, host the celebrations for other schools to join. So this is a very, very good initiative. And what comes from the Ministry of Education, I also want to thumbs up the minister and her team to make it happen, make it possible. Because sometimes we plan, but we don't have the financial backing to execute these plans. So it has been a very good one, sir, and I continue to say all the best, and maybe you will see the Sardi Chris show highlighting, because some of these people would like to see what's happening and so on. Sir, not gonna hold you much longer. I should have another guest. I don't see him anyway, not hearing him much, but for now I don't know how much more time do you have. But if so, is there anything else that I have not zoomed into that you would like to make mention of, whether it has to do with the celebration or within the school purview itself?
Well, as I say, I think we strive for excellence in everything we do. I am one of those principals who are willing to share resources, share skill sets, try and learn things from other schools. The school that I go, I look at what is it I could do or what is it they are doing different. And I think if we have a mindset where we not compete against each other but share resources among school leaders, I think that would go a far way with our Jamaican children because at the end of the day we're one Jamaica. We have schools that are doing very well and they actually just keep it as a secret. I don't believe in that. I believe we can share it as principals. And we have a nice principal group going on now where people are sharing ideas and sharing skill sets. So it's a bright future. We have a number of young principals coming up in the system and with a lot of ideas. And the fact that if we can just keep it together, share these ideas. So one of the things we must be cognizant of, we don't have the money as a country to have, for instance, I'll give an example. Um, Physics or science labs. All of us as principals want the best science labs. What I mentioned in a meeting some 2 or 3 years ago was that if we have cluster, for instance, we're at Dinthill and we have a good physics lab, the ministry could put in a good bio lab at Charlie Mount and then another a good chemistry lab at McGrath. So the labs are only used a portion of the day. So if we have excellent labs, then school could move to another school and use this facility. Coming into Dinthill as a technical school, we put in an AutoCAD, a designated AutoCAD lab, and we invite other schools to come and use it. A friend of mine from Charlemont, they are doing graphic arts. They come down and they use the computer to teach graphic arts because they are the top class computers we got from our class students. So I was looking at this as cool leaders, we have to share the resources we have, share the ideas, because it's one Jamaica. And it doesn't make sense we groom one set of kids and the other set is left starving. So that's my philosophy as a school leader. Let us just put our things together. Where schools are pretty much close, we share resources. I think probably we can go to a stage where we even share teachers or share principals. So I think we have to look and have that mindset because the country don't have the resources for first class facility in every school. I think that is something at Dinthill we are big on and we're trying to spread it.
Sir, I can say to you, what you have just mentioned in terms of sharing and, the whole aspect of collaboration. When you look at where we are now in education, and we start to look at or separate or put schools, so to say, group schools into QEC, the quality education circles. That is the sort of collaborations that I was expecting to see in this aspect of grouping. And so it's a very, very good initiative and it's a very good proposal. So I hope many principals and for those who are on set, teachers or principal or those who are close to schools, we now look into these things. This initiative doesn't have to come from mainstream, doesn't have to come from central ministry or even the regional office, but within our QECs, as principals, we can do these things all the time and to make it better for our students, the one we serve. So, sir, you seems like you are willing to share best practices. But let me ask you though, are you willing to share as it relates to your Dakasta Cup best practices?
No, no, not until I win it. When I win it, I'll share the
I,
secret.
I thought that would have been a part of the school.
Let me win it first, and then I can tell you exactly what to do to win it. But what I will share now is just knocking at the door.
I hope so. Well, many coaches are listening. Some schools are here knocking and don't want you to win before them. But, as it is, that is the aspect of football development. Sir, I have two more questions, even though I give you the last chance. They just came to me. As Mr. Huntley is saying that too much secret, Sir Garwood. But in all honesty, though, Mr. Garwood, as I said, I give, but I just want to zoom in that, as I mentioned, sharing as it relates to the Costa Cup. How have you been, or should I say, how Dingtail has reached a stage where they have been putting out teams and teams year after year, being very competitive, starting the competition as favorites most of the time. I'm not asking you to share these ideas, but is it that you have a development program at school, more so under 14, under 16, or you have gone into the FC type of thing?
Well, as I say, I've been that until 2 years, and as I tell you in the previous show, I mean, Money Cup is different from the Costa Cup. It's total different.
Yes.
It's more competitive at the Da Costa Cup level.
Wow.
For me at Dinthill, I say this is my 2 seasons. So this students that I have playing, they would have been with us before even I reach here. So what we have done, what we are doing now is to have our under 14, under 16 players, um, nurturing them because like come March we have a number of players who are in training under 14, under 16, and see who can transit to the Da Costa Cup team. So the plan is to have like a feeder program at the under 14 level. One of the things the initiative will look at is we look on at the primary schools. If we can get them here at 12 and 13, then it should be a good fit when it comes the next 5 years or so. So we are looking at doing a grassroots program in a sense, looking at the primary schools and have them here nurturing the skills at grade 7 and 8. But the crop of players that we have now are those players who I inherited. So
Okay.
before my time, it would have been recruiting and so on. So it is basically players playing in their second year with me as at the helm.
Oh, nice. So, finally, as a sportsman, a man who have done that and who you play the game and where you understand the whole feelings around winning and losing. There's one principal who shared with us on this particular set already, on this show. Said they remember playing a game and when their team scored that winning goal, he ran the whole length and breadth of the pitch, he even sliding down. How do you feel? How do you manage when you are whether on the sideline or in the stands? And in twofold, sir, when it goes your way and when it goes against you, how do you manage that whole what did I say? That feeling? How you manage to maintain yourself? How do you manage to maintain Anthony Garwood?
Yeah, yeah, you know that people ask me the same question, even at watching the games and we winning and so on, and they don't see me celebrating all that. I think it came from being a FIFA referee. We call it unflappable. You have to make sure that you don't celebrate because when you travel overseas and Jamaica playing and you're in the tournament with Jamaica, you can't even flinch when Jamaica score. So I think I have learned that, and it has been, I've been a FIFA referee 11 years, so it's just basically that practice over
Wow.
the.
Wow.
I've been in the stands, Dinthill score. Yes, you celebrate, but the excess
The excitement
celebration,
you
it
don't
may
put across.
find me. Yeah, you wouldn't see me jumping after running down the entire length and so on. Probably when I get the cup, probably I'll run the field with it.
I was just getting to that.
I'll run the field with it. But that's me. I normally try and control the excess celebration.
That's true. I can tell you. Ask that question because I know you know, sir. I know you that much in terms of being such a calm person, somebody who can manage your own ego and all of that. Very good at that. Never seems to be upset, never seems to be in a hurry, but just take it one step at a time, even though he's a very articulate and very effective manager, Mr. Anthony Goward. People, you have not made a call. It seems like everything was okay, but I'm just giving you the last time. You can make your calls right now before Mr. Garwood leave the city. He'll be leaving in just a little while because there's little or not much left to be discussed within the scheme of what we came here from. So Sheldon Huntley is saying next season, Sir Garwood. So I don't know if it's next season for you to win or next season for you to celebrate running around the pitch. Oh boy. So,
I hope he's running
Mr.
around.
Gowd, sir, this is where we leave you for tonight, hoping that in a little while we have not yet end the show, so I don't know if you want to stay or you're going. I'm not sure if you are still on the road or you are home. Hopefully, all is well and you are safe. And I really want to say thank you very much again for your attendance and your participation in this or on this show. Have been very, very good and always accepting, our invitation. Again, sir, thank you very much and have yourselves a wonderful night and all the best for Friday for this big celebration at Dinthill with all the schools in and around supporting you with parents and students alike. Again, thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. Thank you again.
All right, so that was Anthony Garwood, and we're just gonna play another song. It's Jamaica Day, people. It is the time and mood for us to participate or having these songs being played. So just another one before we go into, and hopefully by that I'll try to make contact with my other guests.
today. Come up a town to make up a stay. He was a crazy over decent girl. Yes, and him get one with many a girls. Him say, girl, I love you to death. Free food and money, you're sure to get. But there's one thing you got to understand. You must not ramp with a nigga man. Why oh, nigga man a trouble, make I see you. Why oh, a nigga man a trouble, make I see you. Next year John went downtown for a walk, and when him come back, he couldn't spark. John put him ears at the door. He hear a bass voice dancing over. John said, Muncie, Muncie, Kylo. Trouble make I see low. Why oh, a nigga man a trouble make I see low. Why oh, nigga man a trouble make I see low. Leave my guy see low. I said no. Leave my guy see low. Leave me guy see low. Nigga man leave my guy see low. Next year, John put the girl things outside, and then him give her a taxi fare. Him say, girl, stay away from me now, as far as the east is from the west. Why oh, nigga man a trouble, make I see low. Why oh, nigga man a trouble, make I see low.
I am begging you a chance, Mr. John. I'll try to do better next time.
What? You beg me chance? Me no give chance, no chance. I said you pack up your things and go home. I don't want no nigga man come broke my bone. Why oh, nigga man a trouble, make I see low. Why oh, nigga man a trouble, make I see low. Leave my guy see low. Leave my guy see low. Leave me guy see low. Nigga man leave my guy see low. Leave my guy see low. I said so. Leave my guy see low. Leave me guy see low. Nigga man leave my guy see low. Why
All right, so that was another episode from Stanley, and that was ending off the Jamaica Day aspect of the preview. People, I am still not getting through my other guest, Terique Robinson, and he is a former Edunalin student and footballer, centre half to be exact. We call him Gibbs. He's presently teaching in Bahamas, and he had planned to share with us his experience in teaching in Bahamas, comparing to that when he was here in Jamaica. So, Colin Spence, well said, my command. Thank you very much, Mr. Spence. You don't know the man from JTA Rep, and we'll have you very soon on set, Mr. Spence, because you need to come and talk to us about the sports initiatives of the JTA and how you have been doing for a very long time as it relates to sports aspect of the Jamaica Teachers Association and how it helps our own teachers in our everyday life. Alright, Footishless Vibes. Man, with a lot of jobs, principal referee, I can tell you, he is. That is the man they call Mr. Anthony Garwood. Trust me. He has also a part, I think he's also a part of the technical committee of the JFF too, the man Anthony Garden. Alright? So, etc. Yes, man, he has a lot to say, always involved. Alright? Yes, Sadi, thank you very much, Fruitilicious. And so we continue to do the work as it relates to bring about these information. People, it has been a very, very um, tough week for me as it relates. I have been um, getting a number of setbacks as it relates to postponements of guests, or should I say, cancellation of their attendance on the show. But this is how it is, and we continue to do so. Coming tomorrow, I'll try and put across a show tomorrow, not so late, earlier than your regular 8:30, and because Friday is a no show. I must say to you that I'm actually at a different place now. I'm unable to do the Friday shows, so I'll bring the Friday shows to Thursday. And so hopefully, if my guests are good enough for tomorrow, we'll have a show tomorrow. So look out. And we also have a review of this week's Premier League. And, let's talk. We have a show pending from some of our own PIBA members and fans of their different EPL team. It's a pending show, and I want to get it out of the way, people. So if you are here on stream, for those of you who were supposed to be on set to discuss your team's performance or the lack thereof, we hope to have you tomorrow. But it will not be as easy for 8:30. We want to look at a 7:30 start tomorrow, and so please let me know. We'll get back to you. I'll try my very best through communication between tonight and tomorrow morning to see how best we can get that in. So again, people, thank you very much for joining in. I must say to you, you are a customer. You don't want to go. I understand that because you're used to going the full 2.5 hour show. But if you want some questions, if you have any burning questions, people, call. The number is on the screen. 876-501-6625, or you can continue to type in the chat. I will see how best I can handle or answer your questions, suggestion, anything there is you want. So let us look at it. We'll be offering just another 8 minutes, no longer, because our guest has not turned up, or should I say our final guest, another Michael man. It wasn't really my intention to have three Michael man here tonight. It's just that way. And so just bear with us, people. Again, we are celebrating Jamaica Day in Jamaica, and I've picked up that some states in the United States have actually take on this day as well. In Canada, I've seen one school in Canada that has taken on this Jamaica Day celebration. The principals and staff, the entire schools, are asking parents and students to dress in their Jamaica colors. People, you can imagine a school outside of Jamaica, in the USA or Canada, all dressed in the yellow, black, and gold for a day of celebration, a day that every one of us want to be a part of, the Jamaicanness, the culture, and so on. So again, I just want to play one final song before we close out, and we continue to listen out. If you have something, you know, we ask you to share with us. All right. So as we are here, just one song to go, but we're still listening for your questions or your comment. Let me see if this is the right one. Da, da, da. All right, people. In a little while. Alright, so we'll have this one coming up for you shortly. Alright, so let me add this one back to the screen. Alright, so stay tuned. These are our cultural songs, ladies and gentlemen.
Sad story to tell you. It might hurt your feelings a bit.
It is the Jamaica Day
Last
celebration.
night as I walked
Yeah,
in my bathroom,
coming up celebrating in
I stepped
schools
in a big
right
pile
across
of
Jamaica.
shaving cream.
March
Be
3.
nice and
This
clean.
Friday, March 3, ladies and
Shave
gentlemen.
every day and you'll always look clean. I think I'll break up with my daughter. Her antics are queer, I'll admit. Each time I say, darling, I love you, she tells me that I'm full of shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look clean. My baby fell out of the window. I thought that her head would be split, but good luck was with her that morning. She fell in a barrel of shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look clean. My old lady died in her bathtub. She died from a terrible fit. In order to fulfill her wishes, she was buried in 6 feet of shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look clean. When I was at camp in the army, one day I looked inside my kit. I tried to find me some highly, but the damn thing was loaded with shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look clean. Now this is the end of my story. I think it is time I should quit. And if anyone of
So that's where we pause for now as it relates to our musical content and just to get through. So we're about to close the show. And again, people, I thank you very much for joining. This show is sort of different from those that we had before that was expected. But you know, that's how it is. We have to find a way to not just entertain and educate people, but you know, within the scope of things. And my belief is that whenever you are educating, you are also entertaining. When you're entertaining, you are also are you know educating. So that is why it is. And so I thank you very much again for joining. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. If you have not yet liked the content, please do so while you're leaving. All right? Because that is how it is. We continue to do our own good and said when we said our own good, our best to say that. But we want to leave you with one final song and by one. So just a minute, we can we continue to drive the vision of Jamaica. We continue to uphold the seriousness, the importance of Jamaica Day, not just to our students, but right across to every single Jamaican people. It is one that we need to embrace our own culture, our own system. And even though we look at educational content tonight, you notice how we stretch it across. It was with Mr. Anthony Garwood, the principal of the Dinthill Technical High School, just for him to share with us the big plans or the big, what would I say now, event coming up next Friday, which is March 3. This Friday, a matter of fact, March 3, ladies and gentlemen, the Jamaica Day celebration, where, you know, right across this length and breadth of St. Catherine, then you'll have schools come to Jamaica Day at the Dinthill Technical High School. there are a number of schools that will be there who participate in not just um, to pay attention or to learn so much or to eat and drink, but to show their skills as it relates to, you know, what they know about the culture of Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to thank the Ministry of Education for putting across such an initiative, for sponsoring it as well, and to give the sufficient funding for it to be possible. As I said in the show many times, as school leaders, many times as schools, we have put across some beautiful plans, but however, the lack of funding has affected us in our implementation. So, that is how it is. And again, we want to thank everyone for joining us. And while you leave, I want to say a goodbye and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If you could join us tomorrow at 7:30 your time, that would be good. And I'll definitely send out something for you to join later on. Again, I want to say goodbye. But on your way out, ladies and gentlemen, please take your time. This is the Sadi Crest Show, and I want to leave you with a little more of our content. Mento music, not everything Jamaican, but this is what we embrace. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, stay tuned as we go into everything. Alright?
Sunday gone, I jump on a minibus. I really late, but it's not my fault. When we nearly reach by the terminus, I feel the bus come to a halt. Well, the caram goes down by the roundabout, but just
Wow.
as if that could not suffice, I better run to the bus and start to shout.
Hey, what a man called Pluto.
Make we buy a pound of rice. From good liver, good to make manage.
You hear that? What them say? Talk to them, Pluto Shevington.
Really good eat, make the earring for your dad.
This one has been itching.
For a good lunch, put the bite.
Again, people, thank you. Thank you very much for joining.
It make your data.
Thank you for your subscription.
Well,
Thank you for the likes, of course. Oh my God. NR, you're just coming in.
the news spread fast like a telegram. Nobody
Yeah, man, trust me, these are legendary lyrics.
come from.
Man, they call
Raise a pot and a
RNR.
band from an
Yes, beautiful song. Legendary lyrics.
along. Two twos and the pot.
Again, please like before you go.
While I hit a yaman, banana dip. Meanwhile, the waters are
Also share. Ensure that you have people to watch this tomorrow. This is how it is. This is Pluto.
me good and a
Ram goat liver. What them say it good for?
make me sip. From good liver, good fillet, manish water, really good.
I tell you,
The earring for your daughter, how we good lunch,
coming down.
bite in your bar. It make your daughter.
The Jamaica Day celebrations. These are songs that we know. But then this is our culture, ladies and gentlemen. Say goodbye. This is where we leave you. Have a good night, wherever you are. If you are traveling, be safe. Sorry, Chris, say goodbye. Blessed foundation artist, as you said, pave the way.
Pop to Belgium and make a slide. I take a walk
I tell you,
down the street, but while I waiting down
yes, man.
the
The man they
road,
call
I
food
feel
for
my
people.
ride. I feel a gripe and I start to feel very weak. Before too long, you know, have to ask. I run in belly like a judgment day. Everybody in the road and dead will laugh. Is then I know that crime will never pay. From good liver, good to make manish water. Billy good feet make the earring for your daughter. Very good lunch, put the bite in your bar. It make your daughter. It make your daughter walk and talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sunday gone, I jump on a minibus. I really late, but it's not my fault. When we nearly reach by the terminus, I feel the bus come to a halt. Well, liquor ram goes down by the roundabout, but just as if that could not suffice, I better run to the bus and start to shout. You should have dead make we buy a pound of rice. Ram good liver, good fi make manage water. Billy good eat, put the herring for your daughter. Very good lunch, put the bite in your back. It make your daughter,
It make your daughter.
it make your daughter walk and talk. Well, the news spread fast like a telegram. Nobody know where the good come from.
Yeah.
We raise a pot and a pan from an iron man who sit down there all along. Two twos and the pot a boil. I hit a yaman banana dip. Meanwhile, little waters a gone. Lick me goat and a take me sip. From good liver, good fi make manish water. Really good teeth, make the herring for your daughter. Very good lunch, put the bite in your back. It make your daughter, it make your daughter walk and talk. Well, I pop two belch and I make a slide. I take a walk, go out the street. But while I waiting down the road, flip on my ride, I feel a gripe and I start to feel very weak. Before too long, you know have to ask. I run in belly like a judgment day. Everybody in the road I dead will laugh. Is then I know that crime will never pay. Ram good liver, good fi make manish water. Billy good teeth, make the herring for your daughter. Very good lunch, put the bite in your back. It make your daughter,
Yeah, man. Big up yourself for it.
make your daughter walk and talk.
Again, big up yourself, every single one of you. This time, this is the final time. Coming out from the Terique Show. This is one with a difference. Oh yeah, Jamaica Day. It is celebrated in schools right across Jamaica. Friday, March 3. That's what we spoke about. Thank you very much again, Mr. Garwood, for joining. Alright. Blessings, my fans. See you very soon.
Make your daughter walk and talk. Ram good liver, good fi make manish water. Billy good teeth, make the herring for your daughter.